Hey gang, Hammercell here. As you can see, Cap sent me this game file. He's not divisioned. He's playing solo. He's in the Benham, which is a ship that I think is just awesome fun. It's a tier 10 match. We've got a sprinkling of tier 8s, but mostly tier 10 and tier 9. And why do I like the Benham? And why does Cap like the Benham? Well, I think I can speak for Cap when I say that it's super fun for a number of reasons. One, you can see on the mini-map there, the detection radius is 5.8 kilometers, which is just really nice. It's got relatively hard-hitting torpedoes that are fairly stealthy, move at a good clip, and you have a whole bunch of them. You can see there, bottom of the screen, above the very bottom, you can see the little gun icon, and you can see you got 4 of those, and then a little torpedo rack icon, and you can see you got 4 of those. So you can throw out torpedoes on both sides of the ship, 2 racks worth. So what you will often see Benham players do, and I haven't watched this replay, but we'll probably see some of it here, is push into torpedo range or close, particularly against an advancing enemy, and just spin side to side like he's doing right now, and you're throwing torpedoes out, and you can see it's a lot of them. It's a total of 16 torpedoes with each full drop. So you got 8 from either side. So he's covered kind of the, well, we'll say the northwest quadrant of the Delta Cap, and then the northeast against the approach of enemy DDs. And is now moving to a position of cover. He's got an Akazuki right behind him. The Hindenburg, Alsace Thunderer, those guys are sitting way back there.
Smoke generator started.
Now he's smoking up. He's detected by Friesland and Lightning. Probably going to take a little bit of fire here. Targeted by 4, now 3. Manages to avoid getting whacked, at least thus far. Now his torpedoes didn't land anywhere, but look, they're already back up. Yeah, that's right, just a little bit over a minute on the reload.
Smoke screen set.
And all of that combined make the Benham a pretty nasty customer. Now the Friesland is just pushing in, and now smoking up. Now we can't really see the targeting reticule, but I'm guessing he was targeted there. Watch the island. Oh, and I didn't mention, Benham is very wiggly. It's fun to drive. Really maneuverable. It's not quite a Sims, but similar in terms of how it handles, at least to me. Akazuki got beat up quite a bit while he was there, and that is a ship that does not handle well. Lightning's pushed up, but again, fast torpedo reload, and that makes the Benham a devastating kiting ship. You can just fall back, swing side to side, and down goes Lightning. So Cap's got his first kill. We're just about 4 minutes in. He's using the radio location or radio position finder, depending upon how long you've been playing the game, to get some idea of where that enemy Friesland was at. And he just threw torpedoes in that direction. The Friesland appears to have moved. The Friesland doesn't have any torpedoes, so that's really not a concern. Yeah, Thunderer, Hindenburg, Bagration, and Alsace They all got dragged out there on the edge, and they're not going to really be doing much out there. Meanwhile, the bad guys are pushing through the center.
Engine
It's
boost
Kitakaze, a couple
deactivated.
battleships, and a cruiser. Georgia backing them up from maybe 8 kilometers or so farther back.
All stations reporting the position of a strategic target.
Östergötland is facing off against a gearing. It could go either way, but if I had to put money on it, my money would be on the gearing, particularly because he's got support. Yeah, the RDD has Jean Bar and Tirpitz, but you can see that the gearing is kiting away, and that is the best way to do it.
Smoke generator started.
I think that the horn and the smoke were to get Akazuki's attention. Hey, you can hide behind my smoke. And apparently he figured that out. So my
Smoke screen set.
competitive nature tells me to give a tip of my hat to Cap for that consideration. Because what he's done is got Grossovoy out there spotting. He's put Akazuki in a position where, despite the fact that he's almost completely dead, he can get his guns working to good effect. The good guys are down 3 ships, the bad guys are only down 1. The bad guys have a 3 caps to 1 advantage. The good guys have a Thunderer, Progression, and Hindenburg all on the flank. And I'm sure they're enjoying their gunfight over there, but they're really not helping the team a whole lot because they're so far out of the game. They do manage to drag down the De Grosse on that side. Meanwhile, the bad guys are pushing through the center pretty hard here. And Cap and his trusty Benham are landing torpedoes as they do so. Now, if the enemy team sits back, it can be a little frustrating playing a destroyer that's torpedo reliant, because you are you're forced into these little narrow torpedo lanes, and it's not too hard to set up on the far side of them to avoid them. When you're pushing through the middle of these islands, you really do make yourself a target for torpedoes. And there's Grossovoy here, Akazuki, and Cap in the Benham. Now the Kurfürst, he's, at 10,000 hit points, he's probably not long for this world. And Cap is just, he's using his torpedoes a devastating effect now. So we're a little over 8 minutes in, he's got almost 110,000 damage. And Georgia's breaking through. Jean Bart takes out Richelieu, and the good guys lose the Tirpitz. Now, I can't say I'm terribly surprised about that, given its position, but what's the Georgia going to do? Now, this is always tricky because Georgia's really fast, especially when it hits its speed boost. It has incredibly hard-hitting guns. It's risky to torp in that direction because if Jean Bart turns in any further, he might end up eating. Kitakaze is pushing in, devastating guns. If Cap can remain unseen,
Smoke generator started.
and Kitakaze doesn't change his course.
Concentrate fire on the enemy warship.
Looks like Kita is turning in. Now, Kitakaze is not a maneuverable ship. Like the Akazuki and the Harugumo. They are really big
Smoke screen
destroyers
set.
and do not handle all that well. Enemy George is gone. And now the good guys are really only down one ship. Relatively speaking. Red team's lost 5. Green team's lost 6. Kitakaze is just
Torpedoes, direct front.
pummeling Jambar now. Jambar is also taking fire from, looks like, Edinburgh up there. Now it's very tough to land shells consistently on a retreating opponent with these American destroyers. The shells are so floaty. That's a technical term, floaty.
The enemy is
It
about
means
to win.
air drag seems to slow them way down, and you're basically trying to drop them on top of ships rather than fire them in the traditional sense. Okay, so good guys are down to 4 ships, bad guys still have 6. And Cap's got his hands full here trying to take on Kitakaze. Kitakaze of the
Deactivated.
Akazuki Kitakaze Harugumo trilogy of ships. I think Kitakaze is probably the, at least to me, the best handling. Now Benham's not what I would call a gunboat, but as you can see, it can handle itself fairly well if you're close, and he was.
Sunk an enemy destroyer.
And that was really just a case of having an HP advantage, and he took advantage of that, Cap, I mean, to good effect. Now the decision here is, do I cap or do I go help the Grossovoy? And it looks like Cap has decided to secure the Charlie Cap in an effort to slow down the enemy points. Gearing is pushing in, hopefully, I think, to spot the Grossovoy. He's turning in. But Cap's going to try and help finish him off. Grossovoy does the job. Oh, don't get stuck. Pick up a little flaming oil on the hull and run over some swimming guys, I guess. But almost to the cap. 398 to 764. Still down in terms of caps. But the Hindi is now in the Delta cap. And with that, we're slowing the enemy team to 4 points at a pop, rather than what was 12 points at a pop. Cap is using the indicator, which is almost certainly telling him where the Friesland is at. It doesn't give you range, just direction of the nearest ship. Now, Friesland does not have torpedoes, so that's not a worry. Grossovoy, he seems to be doing fairly well over there. Now, it looks like our hero intends to finish capping this and then moving to help Grossovoy. So Cap wants to go help sink these ships.
Engine boost activated.
Grossovoy was suggesting, no, go get the Alpha Cap. That's a risky thing to do with Grossovoy crossing. Okay, Grossovoy's turning out. As long as you don't go nose into the island here, you should be able to smack somebody around a little bit. Now you can really take advantage of this detection range and get in here
Torpedoes to port.
nice and tight. Those torpedoes sound close. And Republic is going to get hit. Maybe 3.
Battle ends in 5 minutes.
4. And torpedoes are just about back up. And Republic is flooding. Now with 4 minutes 40 seconds remaining, Republic goes down. This game gets a lot easier to win. Now that, the Moskva is a real threat. The question here is, has he used all of his radar consumables? If he has,
Engine boost deactivated.
well, then you got a good shot of finishing him off. But if he hasn't, and he lights you up with radar, well, that's a definite worry.
Сконцентрировать огонь на указанной цели.
Very wise decision not trying to push around that island ahead of the Moskva. Nice.
Enemy cruiser destroyed.
Alright, the good guys now have 4 ships. Bad guys are down to 2 ships. And now it really is a race to cap. Grosavoy, he's headed for Bravo. Looks like our hero is going to be headed for Alpha. Can he get there in time? We got 3 minutes 20 seconds. And Hindy's going to be racing for the Delta cap. Now, what the good guys really need here is to finish off the Eddy or the Friesland. You can see the enemy team just run. I don't think that strategy's. I don't think that would work here. I think there's too much time for the good guys to secure some caps and slow down the points progression. That's going to change things. Now you look at the very top. It shows you the ships that were in the game and who's left, and then just underneath that, you've got little, well, kind of tilted squares. So there's a green one and a red one, and that gives you some idea of, if nothing else changes, you know, in terms of numbers of caps secured and ships killed, who will win and when. So as it stands right now, if nothing changed, the good guys would win on points. But it's changing. Grosavoy just took a cap. Cap is about to secure Alpha, and you're going to see those timers change again. But still, we're under 2 minutes. And being under 2 minutes, unless a kill is made, come on, Thunderer. I'm sure Grosavoy is doing all he can here. He's still got a fair amount of hit points, so he might be able to use his AP against the broadside of that Eddy. But really, the good guys need to kill that Eddy. Thunderer says he missed. Well, not a whole lot can be done about that from where Cap is at right now. Now he can move out here and try to find the Friesland. Is the Friesland moving this way? If he is, maybe you get a shot at him. Okay, so Eddy goes down. Thunderer managed to finish him off. We've got just over a minute. It's close in terms of points. But I think the good guys are going to have to kill the Friesland, so it's going to come down to whether Cap can finish him off. There just isn't enough time to catch up on points, I don't think. Friesland has a lot of hit points left, trying to take him on in a gunfight. Well, that would be a real uphill battle. We're down to 36 seconds. Hindy does have that cap under control over there. And, you know, maybe the good guys do have a... Yeah, the good guys are going to be able to catch up on points. We're about to change... Yep, there it is. The good guys are winning. This is all over but the shouting. Fantastic game, Cap. Thanks a bunch for sending the game file in. Super fun to watch. Thanks everybody for watching. Really appreciate it. And I'll see you next time.